Good evening. I'd like to thank you for coming to watch tonight's presentation. The video tonight is part 2 of a series that I have been writing. I've been working for the paranormal FBI. I would like to thank Vexy, or Vex, whichever they prefer, and Breaker19 for their assistance with this video, who have lended their voices in such fantastic manner. I'm truly excited for continuing on this series, even to its bitter end. But without further ado, here is the second part of I Work for the Paranormal FBI. Hello again. Sorry for the wait. My superiors found my first post. They let me off with a warning. Since I left out anything too secret with my original post, I could continue. However, they've decided to assign someone to keep watch of me to make sure I don't slip up. I'm not sure who they have in mind, but I'm optimistic of my odds. Anyway, my last scripting is still fresh in my mind. I'd love to tell you about it, once I remember where I put it. I could try to retell it from memory alone, but I fear I may miss a few crucial details. I did find one of my older ones, however. This was almost exactly a year after I started. Here's the scripting. Interrogating this specific case was Grunky. Not sure why he chose that name. Before he joined the PFBI, he used to be an avid hunter. He knew everything about the beasts of the world, more than most. It's as if he could smell a lie the moment it was spoken. Sitting across from him was a man in his late 20s, Dwayne. His girlfriend, Sarah, had disappeared a few years before. Right after, he disappeared off the map entirely. He's been squatting in abandoned dwellings in the woods since then.
You've been gone from the world for a long time, Mr. Dwayne. You seem tech-savvy for your age. Can't imagine why someone like you would want to completely abandon society altogether.
Dwayne stared down at the table.
What can I say? I just got sick of people, I guess.
Grunky leaned forward.
As silver as your tongue may be, your lies can't fool me. Now then, can you tell me what happened to Sarah?
Dwayne flinched for a moment.
She left. She just couldn't handle being with me anymore.
Your fibs are getting you nowhere. I don't care how ridiculous the truth may be. I can't help you if you don't tell me what that is, Mr. Dwayne.
Grunky leaned back in his chair, waiting for Dwayne to continue. After several moments of silence, Dwayne spoke again.
It was supposed to be perfect. I had planned everything 2 weeks in advance. It was our 5-year anniversary of being together. Valentine's Day. Candles lit. Turkey roast finishing in the oven. I checked my watch for the 2,000th time. Sarah would be home soon. Hopefully just in time for dinner. My hand slid in my pocket for the 10th time that night. The proposal ring was still in there. Moments later, Sarah walked in. She was ecstatic when she saw everything. She walked up to me and planted a kiss on my cheek. I asked her how work was, and she told me it was a slow day. Soon after, we discussed, as we always did over dinner, about our day, plans for the future, hoping for advances in our jobs. Time seemed to flow by so quickly. Being the gentleman, I cleaned up the meal. Sarah waited for me as she prepared the evening activities. She told me she was going to change into something more comfortable. My heart stopped at that moment. I dropped the plate I was finishing up, letting it shatter on the floor. I tried to stop Sarah from opening the closet, but I was too late. She noticed the blonde strands of hair poking out from the pile of laundry. She was furious with me. No. More rage than even hell itself burned within her eyes at that moment. She asked me who I was cheating on her with. I kept telling her I had no idea. That's when she reached for the blonde hair and yanked it upwards. What she pulled up wasn't a woman, but a severed head, still dripping with blood. Sarah's face was of utter horror, mirrored with the head's expression. She began screaming, trying to get away from me. The blinds were torn away from the window, allowing the light from the full moon in. My body transformed into that of a feral beast. Couldn't control myself as I tore her flesh apart and devoured her. It was several hours before I transformed back. I couldn't live with what I had done. So I ran. I ran to where no one would find me.
Dwayne's hand kept fiddling with 2 rings that rested on his ring finger. The table was wet with his tears. Grunky cleared his throat.
You were going to propose to her that night, yet you ended up killing her instead. Can he explain the head in the closet?
Dwayne wiped away his tears, cleared his throat, and continued.
A few hours before Sarah got home, I was looking for someone to satisfy my hunger for what I transformed. I found a homeless woman in an alleyway. No one would miss her, so I took her home and cut her up. I had to stop right as I got to the head. I had almost forgotten to start dinner. The one that I planned for Sarah and I. I just figured the fumes from my laundry would hide the scent of the corpse. Apparently I didn't hide it well enough.
Dwayne finally locked eyes with Grunky. I assumed he was going to plead for his life to be spared.
Look, I know what I'm guilty of. More people than those 2 women have lost their lives because of me. Just arrest me. Better yet, just kill me. A monster like me doesn't deserve to live at all.
Grunky pondered at Dwayne's words for a couple minutes.
I never mentioned anything about punishment or death, did I? You may be able to turn into a feral creature, yet you don't seem like a beast to me. How'd you like a job instead?
Dwayne's gaze locked with Grunky's once more.
Wait, are you serious?
Well, absolutely. You have quite the unique ability we could use. You'd fit right in with our employees. I'd advise not to become too attached to them. Death is more common here than in normal society. Will?
You know what? You have yourself a deal.
So, it seems we've got another werewolf working for us. He was transported to another department the day after that. I'm not sure what happens to those who aren't in my department. Unless they die, then I get to see their paperwork before it's completely gone. I'll try to find that one scripting I mentioned before. Not a lot of places I could have left it. Anyway, take care. I'll be back in the near future. Once again, your friendly PFBI guy. Fascinating. Only part 2, and the story feels like it's slowly unraveling bit by bit. Peculiar. Curious where it might end up. As always, I do hope you've enjoyed what you've listened to. And I want to give a huge thank you to Vexy, or Vex, however they prefer their name to be said, and Breaker19, or as we call him, Breaker. I have requested their help because I felt their voices would be perfect for the characters, and from what I've heard, I wasn't wrong. I loved their performances, to be honest, and whenever I choose someone or ask someone to do a voice for a character, I think, 1, how well could they perform the character? 2, their voice seems perfect for this situation, so let's see how well they do. And I am not disappointed at all with this. I hope you did enjoy. Thank you for taking the time to be here, and have a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time it may be. And remember, there's so many things we've yet to understand in this world.